Russia's all-out summer campaign in Ukraine has reached its climax with a series of fierce battles in Dobropolye, Pokrovsk, Kupiansk, and Krasnolymansk. Moscow's final push of the season will determine the outcome of the campaign, like a decisive push on a potholed racetrack. Today, History and War will thoroughly analyze this development, why Russia is focusing its efforts, what the effects are, how Ukraine is turning around, all in a serious but humorous tone with a photojournalistic guide to help you create great videos. 1. The reason. Why has the campaign reached its climax? According to Don Tree, Moscow has launched the largest missile and UAV airstrikes since the war began, with a total of 818 UAVs and unmanned aerial vehicles used, notably hitting the bridge over the Dnipro River near Kremenchuk for the first time. The increase in cyber pressure and firepower aimed at establishing control over Donetsk is evident. At the same time, fierce fighting has spread throughout the region: Liman, Siversk, Sloviansk, and especially Dobropolye, where the Ukrainian armed forces are counterattacking with great intensity. General Oleksandr Syrsky, commander-in-chief of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, said that during the summer campaign, Russian forces focused the most on the Pokrovsk defense line. Despite losing 5 square kilometers of territory, Ukraine has regained 26 square kilometers. This is a sign of the most tense front line since the beginning of the campaign. 2. Battlefield developments. Map illustration. A. Frontline overview. You can add a picture of a Ukrainian soldier pointing to the map saying, "This is Dobropolye. It's hotter than summer. Hold on tight," for a humorous element. B. Specific developments. The Dobropolye border is the focus. Ukraine sends airborne and mechanized assault forces through Ivanovka, Nikanorovka, Suvorovo to cut off the spearhead of the Russian 51st Army and force them to withdraw from Novoalexandrovka, Grishino, and Mylievka. Pokrovsk. Fierce fighting takes place. The 2nd Battalion of the 79th Air Assault Brigade is at a disadvantage, surrounded in Mirolubovka, Novoekonomichesky, forcing Ukraine to call in reserve forces such as the 425th Regiment to rescue. Kupiansk. The Russian advance has reached the administrative center of the city, forcing Ukrainian forces to narrow their defense lines to support Dobropolye. The northern line is concentrated against breakthroughs. Krasnolymansk. Russian troops penetrate the Kremensky forest, approaching Torskoye Zarechnoye, threatening to isolate the Ukrainian troops on the eastern bank of the Osko Reservoir. Continue to push forces away from Red Kodup and Malievka, causing the Ukrainian front line to be torn apart. C. Emphasize through illustrations. For example, you can draw a small command robot on the map saying, "Advancing night airstrikes 818 UAVs, Kyiv's head is as solid as ice," both humorous and fierce. 3. Results and strategic analysis. A. Interim results. Russian forces deploy the most terrifying airstrikes, putting pressure on the entire Ukrainian front line. Ukraine counterattacked strongly and regained many strategic points, such as Vlodymirivka, near Razinoy, Zolotoy Kolodets, Novotoretskoye. Pokrovsk continues to be a fierce battlefield with high-intensity attacks from Russia, but Ukraine is still fighting hard to maintain an important logistical position. B. Strategic significance. Why is it the climax? This is Moscow's last chance to launch a decisive campaign. Because summer is almost over, the weather and resources are gradually decreasing. A double blow or a failure will define the coming frozen winter. However, according to the Atlantic Council, Russia's summer campaign is considered a failure. Pokrovsk is not captured, and the overall progress is very limited, making the Kremlin's series of victory declarations lose their favor, along with heavy casualties. Ukrinform emphasizes that the goal of encircling Pokrovsk, hitting the supply line, was effectively blocked by Ukraine. 4. Summary, overall significance. Summary of content. Introduction. Russia's summer campaign reached its peak of tension, with massive airstrikes and multi-axis attacks at Dobropolye, Pokrovsk, Kupiansk, and Krasnolymansk. Development. Ukraine fiercely counterattacked, regaining many strategic points, while Russia still tried to advance but was blocked. Significance. This is Russia's last chance this summer. The result will seriously affect the morale and strategy of both sides in the next phase. Final call to action. If you have run the marathon with me to this point and are still awake, shirt or just woke up, Please click like because the article is long but still not long-winded. Share so your friends understand, on the battlefield there is no room for loopholes or silence, even hot silence like this summer campaign. And don't forget to subscribe to History and War, where each video is both historical and humorous, capable of going viral and reaching the top of search results.